Alright, so this thing, bought it a few years ago, and set it in here, and that's where it's been since. So it's a 1967 40 horsepower Evinrude. It's a, I call these the Big Twin. These are fairly lightweight for their power. I think, don't quote me, but I think it's about 170 pounds or something like that. 178 pounds dry. It's something like that. So it's fairly lightweight, and what we're going to do, a few things about this. It's electric start, but it does not charge. If it charged, it would have a generator over here that ran off of a belt. You can see that it had like a cogged belt that would run on that pulley, and that would run the generator. So this one did not have the generator, and from what I've read, most of them didn't. They did make an electric shift model, and the electric shift model had solenoids that would shift the lower unit. This one, as you can see, is not an electric shift. It has the manual shift, but the electric shift models came with the generator. But from what I've read, that's pretty much the only time you ever see the generators, because it was an add-on. But my 25 horse doesn't charge either, so not that big of a deal. So I've got to get this big heavy thing out of here and get it in the back of the truck. Also need to figure out some kind of a way to stand it up and work on it. So this motor is going to end up on my 69 Boston Whaler 13-foot Sport. And it should be a fairly good match for it. It's a fairly clean motor for 1967. Of course, you can see it's got some corrosion, but it's not that bad, really. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd call it corrosion. It's got a little bit of corrosion, but mainly it's just the paint flaking off. You can see the primer underneath, the red primer. I don't see a lot of corrosion, what I would call corrosion. Just a little bit. But that will all clean up. The lower unit itself is clean. It's got a little nick off the bottom here. But other than that, I would call this a clean motor. It's got a hole right there, and I don't know why. It looks like, if it's a little off-centered, so it looks like somebody put that hole there, but it looks like it was done on purpose. And this looks like it, I don't know, it's possible, I don't know, for a hole like that, I think it had to have been man-made. You know, it doesn't, in other words, I don't think you could have accidentally done something to knock that hole in it. I guess it's possible, but it looks more like, I don't know if maybe it was cracked there and they cut it out. I don't know. But I don't think that will affect it. So the goal is to get it out, and then we will put it in the back of the truck, and we're going to go put it somewhere. It's going to need, it really needs a prop. So I'll probably pick up a prop and use this one as a spare. The only real problem it has, this is broke, and I've already bought a new one. Not a new one, but a used one on eBay. Probably what happened is somebody got this up against something when they were handling it, and it went too far and it twisted it off. Or they laid it over and something got up against it. All that's free, so I've had this thing about 2 years. I haven't done anything to it. It feels like it has compression, and that's about as far as I've gone with it. So we'll have to check it, see if it's got spark. If it's got spark, we'll see if we can start it. I don't think it has battery cables on it. So we'll probably just, no. It looks like somebody probably took the battery cables off. It does have the Evinrude red plug, but I'm probably going to try to figure out some way to get this thing where it will put some kind of a plug on it. My other motor has a different style plug, and I'm probably going to figure out a way to put them both on the same kind of plug so I can easily swap motors. My controls and everything should work on this one, same era, and this one's just a little bit bigger. So anyway, it's enough babbling. Let me see if I can get this thing loaded. It's heavy. Alright, it kind of wanted to stay on this thing because it got kind of wedged right there. So it actually worked out pretty good because I just drug it. It's an old dolly, and with no wheels. So I just drug it on there, left it on there, and maybe I can kind of use this to stand the motor up. So that might be what we'll use as a stand. I do have a water pump ordered, so I'll try starting this thing up. Probably dry, because the guy I got it from had it over 10 years and never ran it, and I've had it 2 years, so that water pump is at least 12 years old. So we're just going to plan on putting a water pump in it and not even bother with trying to save it. So and when I bought it, I did kind of check things over like I did. I spun it over. It does go into gear. Oh, throttle's well, it's not letting it go into reverse because the throttle's probably up. Oh, I can't adjust the throttle. Alright, well, let me get it over to the shop. Well, that's what I came up with for a place to put it. I'd like it in the shop, but I'll put the cover over it. I got that old ragged tarp right there, and I'll just cover it up with tarp. And I don't plan on leaving it out in the weather long, just till I can tell whether it's going to run or not. But I figured that would make a decent workbench, I guess you could say, for it. So I think what I'm going to do is pull the plugs out, squirt some oil in it, and might see if we've got it's getting kind of late. I think I'm just going to pick up. I'm going to put the cover on it and call it quits for tonight, and maybe I can work on it some tomorrow. So look forward to some videos on this 1967 Evinrude Big Twin 40 horsepower. I think it's missing a little plug right there. I thought it was missing something, and everything I can see doesn't show anything supposed to go there. So it's either supposed to be open or it's supposed to have a plug. So it's kind of got a rat's nest of wiring. I'm not sure what this relay is for. Let's see. It's got a ground. This is a vacuum cutout switch, so it goes through that. What else? This is a key, let's see. That's the cutout for the magneto. I'm trying to think. This should go over to the starter relay. It does. Let's see what the other wires on here do. Yellow goes there. There should be another wire on there, I think. Yellow. It's probably a keyed relay. Maybe they use that to cut it out. I don't know. What I'll probably end up doing is just returning all the wiring back to stock, because that is not stock. I don't know what they were trying to do with that. Yeah, we just kind of got a mess of wires. There's not really anything to the wiring on these either, so I'm not sure why it's so complicated. There should be 2 magnetos. There should be 2 wires, one for each magneto, the grounding one. So I guess this is both of them. Yeah, they come down together. And so this one should just go to the ignition switch. One of them runs through to the ignition switch, the other one runs through this and then to the ignition switch. So this yellow really should be going through the ignition switch. But it goes up to this relay. The other side of this relay, black and green, or brown and green, goes to the jumble of wires here. I don't know. It's a mess. Oh, that's the choke. It's the electric choke. Well, starter seems good. Let's it's got compression. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Figured I'd let y'all see it, what it looks like with the cover on it. You can see it needs some cleaning up and it's sun faded. So it looks a little better. But it is a 1967 model. So, there it is in all its glory. Let me close it up. Or not close it up, cover it up.